Goddamn. Goddamn.
Goddamn. Goddamn is right, bro. Goddamn is actually right, bro. It is 70 degrees out in Shy, bro.
Dude, it's nice as shit out, man. I got the window open. It's fucking nice as hell out, man.
Dude, it's very nice out here today, man. I woke up today and I was hot. And I was like, damn. I
Yeah.
was like, why the fuck am I so fucking hot? I found out it was 70 fucking degrees out in Shy, bro, which is pretty wild, pretty wild. Um my voice is still cracking, bro. It hasn't like recovered. I don't know. I don't know if it's that I'm just getting older. I
Could be
don't maybe
seven.
that. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Oh,
are you? Okay. Yeah,
you're,
that's good.
yeah. I'm-
Can I hear?
yeah,
It's
you're
clear on
here.
my
You're here.
end. Okay.
Before we go any further, maybe I'll let you explain everything that's going on to
Okay.
the people, which is part of the reason we are on here at like damn near 3:30. So I do apologize for
Exactly.
that, but there is a reason. So I'll let Sir K have the floor.
They did some scheduled maintenance like 2, 3 days ago, man.
Okay, wait, time out. You're bugging out. Damn.
This has been fun.
Wow. Yikes. Okay. So pretty much, guys, from what
That
obviously
goes out for hours
he's still going.
at
Damn.
a time.
Okay. Uh oh god, that's terrible. Okay, so pretty much as you can see, his screen is bugging out. From my understanding, there was scheduled maintenance through his Wi-Fi company, and he says all week it's been bugging out on him. So he told me we would wait until about 3:20ish for him to get on, see if it works. But he did tell me if his Wi-Fi continues to go out to just keep going with the show. If it decides to keep doing that to him. So he says his Wi-Fi has been doing it all week. And again, there seems to be some scheduled maintenance with who you got, bro? Xfinity? No, okay, he's bugged out again. I think it's Xfinity. So seems like there's been some scheduled maintenance with them, which is causing a bit of a Wi-Fi rift for
I
Sir
have
K.
Xfinity.
Okay, yeah, he has Xfinity. He has Xfinity, man. So, yeah. So that's what's going on with Sir K. So if he's kind of spotty, if he's kind of in and out, that is the reason why it's not. It's not really his fault. He's literally been sitting there trying to reroute his router, restart the router and whatnot, and nothing seems to be working for him. So that's what's going on today. But yes, he's, as you can see, he's just stuck in a still image of smiling. So um, at, le- at least my man's smiling through the pain. But yeah, bro. So that's everything that's going on. I could try everything from my end to keep him up to date. Unfortunately, we do just kind of get this
Am I back, man?
um very in and out, bro. Very in and out. Even the it's yeah, Discord's even having a hard time loading you in. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, as you can see, that's the current happenings of today. That's what's going on with my guy Sir K. So, but other than that, he told me to just continue with the show. So we'll continue with the show. As yeah, how's everybody doing today? Here for another edition of the news, and there he is.
Oh my god.
Um,
Yeah, this is and so again, if you guys lose me, it just might be one of them fucking episodes. I'm sorry, but man.
Yikes. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of the news. This is episode 308 of the news. And with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know how the show works, every Tuesday we are on here live with NHP Unscripted. Every Friday we're on here at 3 p.m. Central with the news and for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW. We are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review. Speaking of that, if you guys next weekend will be AEW's Revolution on Sunday, March 15th. And with that, like I said, we are live for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW. So we will be live directly after that show goes off the air with the official post-show review for that. And with that being said, if you guys did miss this past Tuesday's edition of Unscripted, that is available for you guys on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Tuesday on for NHP Unscripted, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop with... you guys can now find this on the merch shop. I don't know why I'm adding all these unnecessary words, bro. What am I doing? Golly. What am I saying? Yes, if you guys have not got a chance to pick up some of the official merchandise, like the brand new, beautiful slept-on design that you see on your very screen, I got me one. It is a beautiful piece, even in person, man. It's a beautiful piece in general, and it is available for you guys live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man. Again, that is bonfire.com. And the link is at the top of the description of this very video. If this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at Notorious Heels, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man, Sir K here. Sir K, if he is available to tell us what he's smiling about today, then we would love to hear it.
Am I available? Can you hear me?
I think that
No, nothing.
it's delayed, but we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Worst part is, man, you are sound perfect on my end, man. It's just my end to your end, which is
I don't think we're gonna find out what he's trying to say.
completely fucked, man. I'm getting like 1,000. It's still gone. You might have to 5,000 ping.
He's at 5,000 ping, guys. That's the absolute drizzling shits on Discord, if you guys aren't aware. But hey man.
Hello. How are you?
Yep. Do we got him? Let's see. I believe yeah, you may be gone, bro. You may be gone.
Nope.
There he is.
How about you, man?
I heard how about you, man? So I'm assuming you're gonna ask how I'm doing, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. As Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Durante, Logan, Bell, Gotti? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys as always for joining us, man. Hey, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Got a pretty exciting weekend ahead. Your boy is going to finally sit down and play some Resident Evil 9. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for RE9. Resident Evil Requiem. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for that. Actually, very excited to see how that game turns out. I texted my man Sir K the other day, bro, because I realized after all this time, I still have not finished Dying Like the Beast, which is quite crazy. But regardless, I may get around to finishing that. If not this weekend, yeah, I know it's coming soon. I'll be able to finish it, but I will for sure be getting my hands on some Resident Evil 9 this weekend. So I'm very excited for that. Um, Logan says it's amazing. Logan says it's amazing. And Logan, speaking of Logan, he's also talking about WWE 2K26. He says, has anybody been playing 2K26 all day? I have not personally. I have not picked up the game. He says he likes the look and the feel of the game, but these multi-man matches I feel are way more annoying. He says he has a problem with targeting different guys, especially with the arrow disappearing and me not having any idea who I'm targeting. Honestly, they should remove targeting the red or the ref. Yeah, unless it's a special guest referee, I wouldn't really see the point in targeting the ref anyways, but he says the ringside pass isn't all that bad besides having to unlock legends that should already be in the base game. The AAA guys are part of the premium, all unlock at the 20th level. And there's 40 levels. Oh, okay. So like I think that's how Madden does it. I think Madden goes till 40. Hey man, I hope you guys do have fun on the game. I hope you guys do have fun. You guys know me. I don't really buy these games until they're either dirt cheap, or they are, free. That's how I got 2K25. So you guys know me, man. I just that's how I go about the 2K thing today. I used to be, back in 2017, 18, 2K17, 18, 19. I was a day oneer. I was a day one buyer of those games. But it's just hard. It's just hard. A lot of these sports games for me, I just I get them when I have an itch to play them. You know what I mean? I don't buy a Madden every year or a 2K every year. For me, typically it's every 2 years. The last time I bought a Madden, it was 24. I bought 26. Whenever I get an itch to play it, I'll play it. It's nice to just pick up and play, but at the end of the day, especially with wrestling games, they just suck for me. They just really suck. But I am excited to start Resident Evil 9. I'm very excited to start Resident Evil 9, see what's going on with Resident Evil. But yeah, I hear it's very good. So I'm very excited to see what's up with it. Oh, darn it. I knew he couldn't move for too long, man. I seen him move up. Oh, and there it goes. All right, man. Well, let's see, man. We got quite a bit of stories today. I would say quite a bit of stories today. I guess normally I ask Sir K this question, but I don't believe he's readily available. We will start with AEW stories. There are not a lot of AEW stories compared to WWE per usual. But AEW, man. AEW. We do have 4 AEW stories today. 3 technically, because 2 kind of tie right in with each other. But to start you guys off with some AEW, okay. All right. I have gotten word. Sir K is asking me to abandon him for this episode. He says he doesn't want to fuck up the quality. So let's see. Okay. All right. He says, All right, guys. I believe. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think this is donezo. Okay. So we've lost Sir K. We've lost Sir K for this episode. He is. He is. Let's see. Yes, he is. He is gone. He is gone. So let me see real quick if I have something. Um, I apologize, guys. I am trying. Okay, I'm trying to. So when my computer catch got erased, when my computer catch got erased, it erased my little single box that I had for whenever I have to do solo streams. So I'm trying to throw something together um, real quick to kind of see, uh, at least make it look a little better for you guys. But we'll see. We'll see. I think I'm onto something. Should be able to knock this out pretty quick. So just give me 2 seconds, guys. I apologize. I did have it made. I had it made, but like I said, when my catch got cleared, it deleted some of the images I had for some reason in my computer. So kind of fucked me over. Kind of fucked me over a little bit. But thankfully this is a pretty quick fix. Okay, okay. I apologize for this again. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm almost done. All right. Okay. All right. I am about done. Okay. All right. Yikes. Probably should have had that ready way in advance, but shit happens. Shit happens, bro. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Sir K's going to be in the comments. We got... All right. Okay. My bad. I had to get that together. Man, I forgot about that catch shit. I should have remade that. Okay. Boom. There we go. Let's get rid of... Where am I? Okay. Let's get rid of that. And let's make me a little bigger here. Okay. All right. I apologize, guys. Yikes. Jeez. Okay. Hello. All right. Okay. All right, I moved with the quickness. Normally, I'm indecisive, so okay, I can tell you guys. I'll sit there looking at a graphic for a minute. I will sit there looking at a graphic for a minute. I had to be a little quicker this time. Okay, so let's see. All right, okay. Now we're good. All right, my bad. All right, now, okay, let's get the show on the road here. Okay, starting you guys off now. We got AEW stories, man. We got AEW stories, and we're gonna start you guys off with the newest signings to AEW. We got the newest signings to AEW, man. We have, if you guys did see this past Wednesday on Dynamite, man, AEW has signed the Dogs. They've signed the Dogs to AEW, which not really. They just signed one of them. The other two have been signed, but whatever. But according to AEW, the Dogs are all elite, as David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors have officially signed with AEW. AEW's deal with David Finlay reportedly came together in the last week. So as you can see, AEW has pretty much what they did with the Bang Bang Gang, right? It's a former Bullet Club type group that they brought to AEW and kind of just changed the name up a little bit. Obviously, they went from Bullet Club Gold to now just the Bang Bang Gang. And then obviously we have the Bullet Club War Dogs being turned into just the Dogs. So it does kind of give me a little PTSD back to the Dogs of War. If you guys remember the team of Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Dolph Ziggler, but no. All jokes aside, AEW have obviously signed the Dogs, as like I said, two of them have already been here. Gabe Kidd's kind of been in AEW for a minute. They just added Clark Connors, and now they're adding David Finlay. Okay, well, first of all, David Finlay is right off the back, really, of a lot of stories about him going to NXT. And we actually do have some news on that. But first, just to speak on the signing of David Finlay to AEW, I can't blame him, especially after I'm about to read what I have to read to you guys. I can't blame him. He's honestly not my favorite wrestler. He is Sir K's favorite wrestler indeed, but I can't say he's my favorite wrestler. He's okay. He's just, to me, he's kind of one of those New Japan projects that just never panned out, like it did with like a Jay White or a Will Ospreay, where they have a foreigner come into Japan and they kind of just make said name a fucking superstar. It was like they tried that with David Finlay, but it just never, I just don't think he quite had the sauce like Switch or like Will Ospreay had. So to me, I was never too big of a David Finlay guy myself, but at the end of the day, I get where he's coming from. In AEW, and even before reading what I have to read to you guys, if you go to AEW, you pretty much get to keep your intellectual property, you get to keep your look, you get to keep, if you want it, your theme song, you get to keep your last name, really. And for David Finlay, you know, that is one thing that if he went to NXT, he was for sure going to be called fucking Hanson Brooks or you know, Billy Irishman or something. He was gonna be called something stupid. And speaking of NXT, according to Bodyslam.net, David Finlay was offered a deal to begin in NXT, but they would not budge on their offer. As a result, he ended up going to AEW. Uncle Dave reported this morning that WWE wanted David Finlay to be the leader of the Birthright stable in NXT. Okay, there's a lot wrong with what I just read. When I read all this, I said, okay, you can feel however you want about David Finlay as a wrestler. That's fine. But you cannot blame him for, okay, first off, y'all done gave Danhausen a main roster level contract, but you wouldn't budge on a beginner offer for NXT. Do you see why you don't get anybody? This is kind of like the fucking Miami Heat, right? You know, Pat Riley is he's a bit of a hard ass when it comes to trading. You know what I mean? They want to get people to come to Miami, but they don't want to trade for nobody. They don't want to give away no assets. Well, then guess what, buddy? You're not going to fucking get anything. With WWE, you want all these names and you want to say, you know, this is where the best talent in the world, this is a world-class promotion, this is the big leagues, and whatever Paul wants to fucking sit up there in his press conference and say, but y'all don't want to pay no money to get nobody. Well, then guess what? Y'all ain't gonna fucking get nobody. Y'all are gonna get a bunch of bums like Danhausen. And I'm not saying that David Finlay's like some fucking through the fucking roof signing, but like, and I know WWE will, when it comes down to it, for a big enough name, they will pay them. But at the end of the day, do you understand that you have nobody in NXT? Do you understand you need people in NXT? And then the other thing, he was going to be the Birthright stable leader. Boy, that fucking sounds like the best gig in the world. I want to leave New Japan. I want to leave the War Dogs and everything that I've done with that to go hang out with my brother, Lexus King, and Stax in the Birthright. If I asked for a show of hands on how intriguing that sounded for anybody's career, I don't think I would get any hands. I don't think I would get any hands. As a matter of fact, again, David Finlay himself, apparently didn't even really want to fucking do it, unless it was really about the money. But again, a beginner offer is crazy. Dude, I'm coming from New Japan. I'm not one of these NIL goofs that you just fucking picked up off the street because they have no other route and they're about to be done with college and they're not going pro or whatever their story is, whatever. I'm not one of these people. I'm not some unknown indie, scrub that you just picked up off the side of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. I'm coming off a New Japan run. I was in Bullet Club. And again, I know he's not the best wrestler, but he's got at least a little bit of a resume. He's a fucking Bullet Club alumni. And, this is what we're offering him. And again, you have no one in NXT. You have Ricky Starks cutting Joe Hendry promos that are getting deleted from all platforms. And that's their main event program, mind you. Y'all don't want to pay David Finlay no money. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. So, and that's the thing, too. Could David Finlay have used developmental? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I can't blame him when this is what you're offering him and you're not budging on a deal for him at all, yet Danhausen is on the main roster. Makes no sense. It makes no sense, and it would make no sense to David Finlay, I could see from his perspective. Is he probably worth that? To me, no. But I could see why he would want to seek out more money. And what better way to seek out more money than, Tony Khan going to AEW. So from his perspective, I don't blame him. From WWE's perspective, I would have gave him a little something extra just off the fact. Again, was he worth it? Probably not. But then again, y'all have nobody in NXT. Joe Hendry is the NXT champion, bro. Joe Hendry is the NXT champion. They got my guy Ricky Starks doing some bullshit down there. They have the birthright. What are we doing? I don't necessarily blame him, but at the end of the day, WWE didn't feel he was worth it. I think it's kind of a stupid move on their part because NXT is the gutter at the moment. Well, it's been the gutter, but I think they could have used another name. That's just me, though. He went to NXT. He went to AEW. He's gonna pick up his Bullet Club War Dogs things with his boys, Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. What they will do, probably be trios champions, but other than that, largely probably nothing. My only request, do not portray David fucking Finlay as the leader of that group. That is Gabe Kidd all fucking day, every day. Do not try to portray David fucking Finlay as the leader of the Dogs. Please, bro. That is terrible. That is terrible. So that's one thing that does scare me about AEW, because the way it looked, unless they just made it look like that because it was his debut, the way they made it look, that motherfucker looked like he was the leader, and I was not rocking with that. I think that is terrible. I think that is a terrible move, but that's just me. Other than that, regarding AEW, according to Uncle Dave, those close to Tony Khan said he is thrilled by the news that Paramount will buy Warner Brothers Discovery rather than Netflix. Well, obviously, we could see why. WWE has that relationship with Netflix. WWE is the king of getting in people's ears. Like, hey, AEW this, AEW that. We don't want X, Y, and Z about AEW. So, they are Tony Khan. I mean, WWE is definitely in the business of doing that. So I could see why Tony Khan is more thrilled. Just to be on the safer side, whenever their deals come up, to have a Paramount buy Warner Brothers rather than Netflix. Obviously, that's going to lessen, the likelihood of WWE trying to finagle their way around and, get AEW taken off or not get any deals renewed or whatever the case. It's bogus, but we know WWE's in the business of doing that. So, yeah. That is the news on Paramount and Paramount and AEW. And then the last thing for AEW here, man, is we have, according to excuse me, according to Belts by Dan, The AEW World Tag Team Championship belts have been updated. The side plates have a different look as they're circle and plain. And all they have is instead of, I believe I think it was the might have been the Rock and Roll Express's spike pile driver. Either way, it was a spike pile driver, as you can see on the top image. There was a spike pile driver. Now, the tag titles feature images of the Meltzer driver and the Shatter Machine. So, I like the idea. I like the idea a lot. You obviously have AEW's two, biggest tag teams in the company. You have FTR and the Bucks. You have FTR and the Bucks here. And you are now, instead of featuring the spike pile drivers that you were before, now you're featuring their moves, right? You're featuring the Shatter Machine and the Meltzer driver. But I will say I'm not a fan of the plain, like, circular side plates. Like, I don't understand why you couldn't have just kept the side plates you done had on the belts, kept the big AEW logo behind them, but just did what they did here. That's a big complaint I had with, like, the national title or even the TNT title. It's just got plain flat metal on it, and it just looks really bland. It looks like creative beltish to me. Like, that looks like something I created on 2K18 in terms of, like, the side plates. I've actually probably made better looking side plates than that on 2K18. But regardless, I like the idea. I just don't think overall the execution was what it should have been. As, again, I just think it looks overall just very plain. So that's the new look for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. That's what they're looking like now. And hey man, that's all we got. That's all we got for AEW stories here today. And so with that, moving on to the WWE stories, bro. But before we get to all that good stuff, man, we got a word from our sponsor here at NHP. We got a word from W Energy, man. W is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula, sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase, man. And with that, thank you as always, and shout out to the great people over at W, the official sponsor of your boys here at NHP, man. So, with all of that, we got WWE stories, man. We got WWE. God, where to fucking start? Let's start with Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. Okay. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, the back and forth between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley was not something devised by WWE Creative, with a number of sources placing the blame for the blow-up on Cargill. One source noted that Cargill has been criticized by a number of talent for how she rubs others the wrong way, and that when the back and forth with Rhea began, it was hard for others to want to jump in and voice their opinion. They cited this wasn't the first time Cargill has been upset with others this wasn't the first time Cargill has upset others with how she conducted herself and intimated that when there were reports about Cargill being hurt last year, the real reason she disappeared and spent some time in the PC was to let personal issues going on at the time subside. Another source tried to downplay the situation, but later admitted that they expected management would step in to speak to Cargill about her relationship with the locker room. The sources noted everyone in the locker room has been happy. Everyone in the locker room has been happy to do whatever they need to do to get Cargill over, but but that the respect they show her does not often feel reciprocated. They described it as Cargill coming off as insecure when she shouldn't have any reason to feel that way. A source close to the situation blew off the entire situation, citing she's a type A personality. And this is what happens when competitive personalities are in the same space. Okay, this is interesting. I had to see what you guys were saying, but this is interesting. Okay, so Jade Cargill, you guys know us. Every time we speak on a situation like this, we speak in hypotheticals. We speak on hypothetically if this is real, and hypothetically if this is a work. If this is real, then yeah, this isn't the first time we've heard of Jade Cargill having a overly competitive personality. This isn't the first time we've heard about her. This isn't the first time we've heard about her having, personal issues with the locker room. So, Jade, I'm personally not a fan of Jade Cargill. I just think she's not that great. However, I don't necessarily fault Jade for wanting that competitive nature. That's something that's lost in wrestling, right? Nobody wants to fight for the spot. You always hear the old timers bringing up, oh, they got guaranteed money these days and they don't got to work for their paycheck or whatever. And they talk about, how it's a lost art or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's all bullshit, bro. Pro wrestling's fucking determined anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, you could be hungry as ever, and Vince or Paul just doesn't fucking like you, and they're not gonna, and then you're not gonna get shit out of it, bro. You could be the hardest working dude in the locker room. You know how many hard workers there was in the Attitude Era that were hungry that Vince probably just didn't like and threw them off to the side, and they worked just as hard as the Austins and Rocks of the world. You know what I mean? So, to me, I think that's bullshit. In terms of Jade, Jade coming off as overly competitive or whatever. I mean, I get, she wants to be the best. She wants to be the best. Everybody back there should want to be the best. Not saying they should all, be wanting to kill each other like the guys in the Attitude Era were, over their spot or whatever. But they should be competitive in the sense that if you're not there, Stone Cold Steve Austin said this a very long time ago, and it's the truest thing, not even in wrestling, but just in life. If you're not there to be the WWE champion, then what the fuck are you there for? Everybody should want that. There should be nobody back there like, yeah, I don't really want that. Now again, like I said, it doesn't have to be like the Attitude Era where guys are stepping on each other's throats, trying to fucking kill each other and creating a horrible work environment over it, but there should be a sense of urgency to want to be great in the end. But Jade, again, we hear Jade has upset others with how she has conducted herself. If this is real, what she did to Rhea Ripley was bogus. Basically saying that she spends hours with creative and she, what did she say? It was she spends hours with creative and she whines about her spots. If that is real, that's pretty bogus to out Rhea Ripley like that. Because again, she's probably whining about her spots because the creative's terrible. And she probably spends hours with creative because creative is fucking terrible. And she wants to make sure her career trajectory is on the right path. So I don't necessarily blame her, but for Jade to out her as if she's some whiny crybaby that holds the division down, I don't get that vibe from Rhea Ripley. I just don't. I don't get the vibe. If anything, I would place Rhea Ripley in the category of somebody like a Gunther or like a Cody, where it's not necessarily these people lobbying, it's just Triple H going into his same old cookie jar. I would not place that on the talent personally. I think that's a Triple H problem. I think that's a Vince McMahon cookie jar problem. That's what I fucking think. But I mean, hey, she went and outed Rhea Ripley, and if it is real, then you don't do that. You don't do that to your coworkers, man. I mean, that's just it's very bogus to do in the regard. It's very bogus to do in the regard of, again, you're making something seem like something it's not. And then too, you want to talk about WWE, babying Rhea Ripley or them giving Rhea Ripley everything she wants. Could we talk about how you're the women's world champion and cannot wrestle still? I mean, so if we want to talk about WWE hiding people's flaws, and if we want to talk about WWE babying people and giving people, things that they don't deserve, you are Exhibit A on that. And then we also need to have a conversation about CM Punk getting all his bum friends hired, because this is two now. This is Jade Cargill, and we have fucking Danhausen now. So if we want to talk about anybody being babied or anybody being corporately, handled, I don't think it's Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley can hold her own when she steps between those ropes, whether it's with a microphone or with an opponent. Rhea Ripley can actually hold her own in between the fucking ropes. You, on the other hand, cannot. So, again, let's not get into people being babied by the company. Regardless, according to Fightful, the online comments between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill started as a playful work, but they caused confusion backstage once Ripley talking to WWE Creative was brought up by Cargill. One member of the creative team claimed that they would never include a mention of creative in a WWE storyline. Those in WWE are happy with the buzz that it has emerged from the online comments. There it is right there. There it is right there. So now if we want to talk about how I feel about the personal situation, look, bro, I think this is these two just trying to sell a match, and then they bring up, it caused confusion because creative would never be brought up in a storyline. Bullshit. They have a show on Netflix that shows you the creative room. Fans know there's a creative process. It's the thing we all talk about, the new kayfabe, right? It is the kayfabe. It is the kayfabed kayfabe, if you will. Again, it's the new kayfabe. We know there's a creative process, and they're gonna show you what they want to show you, even though, that's probably not the full piece of the puzzle or the full pie. It's a little chunk of it, and it's a little chunk of it enough to get you to see it. Again, don't sit there. I want to know who fed Fightful this bullshit. There would never be a mention of creative in a storyline. So what is unreal? We literally see Road Dogg sitting in the fucking room damn near in tears because they're shitting on his ideas. So creatives brought up in WWE shit all the time. It's promoted. When John Cena first turned heel, one of the fucking vignettes building on Raw, building up to his first appearance, Triple H goes, I don't know what his plan is as a heel. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Personally, what I think is, I honestly think it's just these two trying to sell you on a match. I think it's these two trying to sell you on a match. I think it's these two trying to sell you on something that overall doesn't have too much story. It doesn't have too much story, bro. So let's see. Let's see. So, okay, guys, we actually may be getting our guy back. We may be getting our guy back as he, we'll see how this works. Let me go ahead and oh, hello. Let's go ahead and drop back into our split screen jig here. Hey now, are we? Uh, it's pretty choppy again. It you are frozen again. Damn. Yeah. Well, you seem to be okay now. Do you want to, before you cut out again, do you want to give your thoughts on the Jade Cargill? And I'm assuming you've been hearing me talk about it. So do you want to give your thoughts on it?
It's like truly real, even if there is a beef. I feel like it might be a Punk and Seth kind of thing where they enhance it for television, especially since that match has nothing to go for it when you're just looking TV character wise. So part of me just think it's more of just working or taking, even if there's something there, just making a story out of it. But like you said, man, even if it is real, I get both sides. I get why Rhea
Yeah.
would be pissed at calling that type of shit out, and I get why Jade wants to, you know, give it an interesting story and call that shit out and just try to make the match interesting. I get both sides. It's an unfortunate situation, and I think people are kind of blowing it out of proportion.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things where you kind of get it from every angle, and at this point, they might as well just embrace it and just go ham, man. Go ham on the mic and just talk crazy.
Okay, so I know you heard me say the part of there would never include mention of WWE creative
Or
in a storyline. What did you think of that comment?
I think what you said is true. You have a literal show about looking into Roman Reigns, talking about how he just let CM Punk get back into the company and their feud.
Yes.
That is the dumbest thing ever, man.
Yes, it is. It is one of the dumbest. It is one of the dumbest things that
That is the
WWE.
most copium thing ever.
Oh
To
yeah, oh yeah. Yes, it is one of the dumbest. It is at one of the absolute dumbest things they could have possibly said in that situation, man. I mean, again, WWE leans into that these days, so I don't want to hear nothing about creative not being mentioned or whatever. So that to me is bullshit. Obviously, again, if it is real, Jade. I like you said. I mean, I do get Jade's side of it. She's trying to make something interesting that there really is nothing to. I think she's a bit hypocritical talking about the company. Insinuating that the company, babysits Rhea Ripley or babies Rhea Ripley, when all they do is constantly hide your flaws. But at the end of the day, um, hey, make the shit real. If it's gonna make, I mean, look at what that did for Tiffany and Charlotte in their build last year. That shit was great. Charlotte getting called out by Tiffany Stratton, 3-0 with the husbands. We all remember that shit. It made it a lot more fucking interesting. It made it a lot more interesting than it would have been if it was just base level stuff. So, I mean, I get Jade Cargill wanting to do that, and I mean, bro, again, what I think, man, I think these two are just trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. So,
I think so. I think so, man. I think that's what it is to me, at least.
with that being said, let's talk about CM Punk's other friend. Let's talk about CM Punk's other friend, man. Let's talk about Dan Trouser. Let's talk about Danhausen, bro. Dudhausen. You know, one thing that doesn't help, it probably isn't helping the Wi-Fi situation, is it's fucking rainstorming out right now.
Oh, dude, it's fucking super thunder.
Yes. Heavy rain expected for the next 34 minutes, followed by light rain. Wonderful. Fucking wonderful. So, you gotta love it.
Right now, and I'm sure that does not help. I was like, oh
No.
my god, I need water.
No. This has got to be like a weatherly disaster, bro.
Oh, it is.
So, Danhausen. According to Bodyslam.net, Danhausen signed a multi-year contract with the WWE. WWE was looking to sign him back in July of last year, but his AEW deal was extended. Despite his request, they may not, despite his request that they not extend him because they had no plans of using him. With that, per PW Insider, WWE officials are said to be pleasantly surprised with the merchandise numbers Danhausen has generated since debuting with the company. He is also expected to appear on Friday's episode of SmackDown as well as Monday Night Raw. And with that, my favorite story out of this whole thing, according to Uncle Dave, CM Punk spearheaded the idea of bringing Danhausen to WWE. His segment on Raw was done backstage intentionally to avoid any possible negative reactions. Jeez, it's rumbling
shameful,
out there,
man.
bro.
Dude, it is. Is it rumbling for you too?
Oh yeah. You think we are
Okay.
cursed?
Oh, dude, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Cursed me this week.
I think you may have. Danhausen may have cursed you, bro, after he heard about what you said about him on the Elimination Chamber review. And when
I
you
think
were
he
in the
did,
stands
bro.
booing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Who would boom in the stands? You know, it's
Darn
not
it.
like it was fucking all of us in the arena. Thankfully, I'm so dude. I'm so proud of our city, bro. I'm so proud of that shit.
I love Shy, bro. I love Shy, man. That is some undefeated shit right there. That is some undefeated shit. Booing him on his debut is truly some undefeated shit. However, man, Punk, I gotta say, dude, I don't know what your like attraction is with hanging out with these bum ass wrestlers, but bro, here we are now hiding Danhausen to hide the negative reactions because you know that his debut was a massive flop. You didn't put him in NXT because he was Punk's friend. His merch sales are good. Great. He sold merch when he wasn't on AEW television for a year and a half. For whatever reason, his fans love his merch. I don't fucking know why. I would not wear a Danhausen shirt to save my life. However, at the end of the day, he moves merch. Great. Wonderful. That's what WWE likes, and that's what scares me for Danhausen because I just know they are going to be on their bullshit with how much they use him. And they, sooner rather than, I know he is going to eventually get one of those fluke US or IC title runs just off the fact that he sells merch and they're going to want to sell more merch with the guy. He could end up being great in WWE's eyes, but to me, God, this guy's terrible, man. This guy's fucking terrible. But WWE, I know they're going to love him. Look at how long they've done let Jey Uso's bum ass wrestle the way he wrestles for, all because he sells merch. You don't think they're going to do that with Danhausen? I know for a fact they're going to end up giving him one of those fluke mid-card title runs, bro. I know it. And he got a multi-year contract, and I don't know if he's going to be brand exclusive or if he's going to float. Maybe he's going to float and curse people while he floats between brands, but I don't know what necessarily the plans could even possibly remotely be for him. But at the end of the day, it seems CM Punk got another one of his boys hired that probably should not be hired. in the end, man. So Danhausen is with WWE, and it seems like this is going to unfortunately have to be our lives for a multi-year agreement. So I don't know. Get used to him cursing people, bro. Get used to it. Damn. Seems like Sir K is gone again. Saudihausen, says Ribshot. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? How you doing? Thank you for joining us, bro. Yeah, no, they're gonna love him, man. They're gonna love him. They are going to. Again, he could possibly be great for them, man. But for us, what this means is a lot of weeks and a lot of annoyance. So, yeah, we lost my guy. I want to say that is that could have maybe been the last straw for his Wi-Fi. So just to play it safe, we will go ahead and switch back again to the solo screen here. Yes, he just texted me. He says he's gone. He says he's gone again. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, it's all good. At least we can say we tried, bro. At least we can say we tried. But yeah, CM Punk, I don't know what's up with Punk, man. Punk is a goated talent, but man, I don't know what his obsession is with bringing his friends in and bringing his friends that are not really that fucking good in the company, man. Dude, when I heard the thunder outside, I was like, oh no. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over, man. But regardless, Punk bringing his buddy in. Hey, man. Again, WWE, like I said, he's going to be great for WWE. WWE lets a lot of bum motherfuckers get away with being bums just because they sell merch. And the same thing's going to happen with Danhausen. I would not doubt it if he's going to get in this year, especially if they're this impressed with his numbers, his merch numbers. I would not put it past him this year getting a fluke mid-card title run because they're going to want to capitalize off this, man, and that is terrible, man. That is terrible. Again, it really is crazy to see that WWE could possibly be using him better than AEW, because AEW just seemed like the spot for him. With obviously him being one of these corny ass, indie gimmicks, it seemed like AEW was just a spot for him. And they actually had no idea at all, quite frankly, what to do with him, bro. But this is what we're in store for Dudhausen, bro. So I don't know. We are in for a lot of corny segments, I could tell you that. But that seems to be the name of WWE's game. At least if you've watched anything that they've done with Jey Uso, corniness is right up their alley. So, speaking of former AEW people that are that have came into the company, we got the Monstar, who's not the Monstar anymore. He's I guess. According to Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, one person noted that Royce Keys is getting acclimated to how WWE production runs, and not appearing on TV yet shouldn't be seen as anything but the company prepping him. They noted that 99% of talent who are hired go through that process. Bullshit. You mean to tell me he's getting acclimated to how TV production runs? You guys know he's done live TV before, right? I mean, I'm sure it can't be that different, that wildly different from what AEW does. And then again, Danhausen is on television. You done brought Jade Cargill to television. You didn't have her hanging around in dark matches. You didn't. You done brought all these people in, and if you wanted to get him ready for TV production so bad, why didn't you put him in NXT? Danhausen debuted on a premium live event. I hate that excuse so much. Oh, we had to get him ready for TV production, because they pick and choose on who that applies to. They do. They do. And then we get this story, which just confirms what I'm saying and makes it even funnier. There is no update on creative plans for Royce Keys. WrestleVotes Live says, and I quote, nothing. Absolutely nothing. We had speculated for months that SmackDown was the place for him. It certainly doesn't seem like that's going to be his home. He was backstage Friday night. Don't know when he's showing up on TV. Hopefully they have an idea. Hopefully this is part of the plan. Sir K says, is Triple H aight with his booking? He probably thinks he's aight rather than great. I think Hobbs is great. I think Hobbs has great potential. You could have Powerhouse Hobbs be a heater for somebody. You could have Powerhouse Hobbs be, or just have Hobbs be a singles guy. There are roles for Powerhouse Hobbs. You are just too fucking lazy and too stupid, Paul, to find them. To find the roles for the man. This is all just so stupid, dude. This is all so stupid. Again, they pick and choose who their stupid ass rules apply to. They do. They pick and choose who they apply to, and they're picking and choosing here. Danhausen doesn't need to know how TV production works, when Danhausen probably needs to know Danhausen probably needs to know more than Royce Keys. He wasn't on TV as much as Powerhouse Hobbs was. Powerhouse Hobbs was on TV all the time. Danhausen was on AEW, what, 3 times? He was on Dynamite? So, how does Danhausen not need to know how TV production works, but Royce Keys does? So I choose to believe the story here that they just have no fucking clue. They have no fucking clue what they were doing. And they still don't. Bullshit. It's bullshit, man. If Tony Khan did the same thing, y'all would be jumping down his throats. Triple H does it, and this is what we see. He's getting ready for TV production. 100%. 100%. Ribshot says Danhausen is already what they want him to be, a character / merch seller. If they were interested in him as a wrestler, if they were interested in him as a wrestler, you wouldn't see him for a year. 100%. 100%. They put him on TV to sell some merch, and because he fits their corny agenda. Royce Keys, on the other hand, is he's stuck on main event, or he's stuck at home. So that's just great. So, well, Sir K said if Hobbs had something sellable like Yeet, he'd be in the U.S. title picture already. Yeah, well, maybe they're trying to make aight a thing. That is terrible. That is a terrible catch for aight. What? Aight, my creative sucks. I probably shouldn't have fucking left AEW for this bullshit. What? Ridiculous, dude. Fucking ridiculous. Speaking of the SmackDown scene, Trick Williams and Sami Zayn have been tangled up in some stories this week, as according to Body Slam, WWE has discussed the idea of Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. And then according to Selfmade PW, There are people within WWE who believe the company is considering a double turn involving Trick and Sammy, with Trick turning babyface and Sammy turning heel. Paul, Paul, you suck. All right, you suck. Okay, so first off, Trick and Sammy at Mania. Okay, that's fine. I would have much rather them either do Trick versus Mello for the US title, or a multi-man ladder match, and Trick and Sammy could have both been in it. So the match overall is fine. Again, I would probably take the Hayes match over that. I think there's a story there that's better than, and not saying that there's no story. You know, Trick and Sammy have had a little bit of beef since Trick got called up, but you know, I mean, there's just more story. There's more history there with Hayes and Trick. But this double turn thing, okay. Trick Williams turning babyface right now is way too soon. You need to let you're not even letting his heel persona that people love marinate at all. And then Sami Zayn turning heel right now. For what? Why would Sami Zayn turn heel? The whole point of his babyface persona is the underdog that never stops fighting. And then, if you want him to go to next year's Mania and win his first world championship, why would you have him turn heel now? You know, Paul, any other time. So, especially with Sammy, it's the easiest thing. Just have him be a loser for majority of the year. Have him be a loser, and towards the end of the year, have him start getting himself back, building up to the Royal Rumble. It's that fucking simple. Paul, any other time you want to halt somebody's momentum, you are the king of doing it. You are the king of turning somebody we love into a loser, except when you actually need to do it. Why would Trick Williams turn babyface? Because he's over? Because he's got an over theme song? If that isn't the most Vince McMahon shit in the world, I do not know what is. I don't know what is. Oh, well, they sing Bobby Roode's theme song "Glorious." We gotta turn him babyface. No, you don't. That's the whole point of the cool factor. Is this dude has aura because he's a dickhead, he's an asshole, he wins all the time, he picks up wins, and the fucking crowd sings along to his theme song. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, cool heel stuff. Bobby Roode is somebody Triple H was behind. You mean to tell me you don't want to do the same thing with Trick? You don't make any sense. You make no sense. This makes no sense. Trick and Sammy doing a double turn is a terrible fucking idea. It's a terrible idea. Again, Trick is cool. Yes, let him be cool. Why do you have to make him a good guy, a babyface to do so? Sami Zayn is pissed off because, you know, he hasn't got his world championship. Yeah, that's kind of the crux of going into next Mania, where he will win his first world title in Saudi. Make it make sense. I do not understand these people and their creative process sometime, man. That is completely ass backwards to what they are doing with their with these two's characters. And Sir K says in the chat, he says they're going to kill Trick. People like the cool, cocky asshole character. It will not work the same as Cody the Chad. It won't, bro. It won't. Completely stupid, man. Completely stupid. They will royally fuck up if they do something to that degree. So we have this story next. Speaking of maybe the guy that just got fired brought up the double turn idea. Because, well, not got fired, but quit. Road Dogg. Uh-oh. Road Dogg has left the WWE creative team. Road Dogg has left WWE following major changes to the creative team. According to, as reported by Bodyslam.net, according to PW Insider, Road Dogg openly expressed his unhappiness with the changes to his position and handed in his resignation. Road Dogg got his WWE annual review. The belief is that he was not happy with it. He may say he left WWE over something else, and only he would know exactly why he did so. But his decision, but it was his decision. He came after his annual review. One person close to the situation said it had been brewing. Road Dogg quit WWE rather than being let go. The company sources have cited that he openly expressed unhappiness and tendered his resignation from the creative team. He was the co-writer. He's been with WWE since 2014 and was the co-lead writer for SmackDown over the last year. And then obviously recently we had heard that he was the head writer of SmackDown. They got rid of all the writers except for him. They kept him as the writer. But then recently they made the writer Ryan Ward. So I'm assuming that was the change he was not happy with. What do you expect when you sit up there? Now, I see a lot of people saying he was a fall guy for Triple H. I do agree with that, because if you look at Triple H's creative input, it's not much. So what do we think, guys? As he's fucking sitting there chewing on his fucking ice. He don't do shit anyways. But Road Dogg, especially. Road Dogg was dumb enough to say things that, at least if it's anywhere close to what we've seen on Unreal, he would say things and have absolutely no substance behind what he was saying. I mean, there's the infamous clip that's going around. I think we flip-flop the title back to Chelsea. Triple H's question, okay, who does she work with? I don't know. I think I see what you're saying. I agree with you. It sounds like I don't agree, but I agree. I don't know. I don't know who we were. I don't know who she worked with. I guess I don't fucking know. Just let me be fucking angry. You fucking baby. You baby. Everything I say, you guys just say it's the drizzling shits. Yeah, because it is. It is. Because you got a position in the company because Triple H is your boy. That's why. And now here you are. Again, being put on the spot or being called out because your ideas suck, and you're sitting there like a crybaby about it. Your ideas suck. And guess what? You can't do a job, you get the fuck out. Can't make rate, you get the fuck out. That's what happens to any other person in any other line of work. And this dude was being a spoiled brat because he was fucking Triple H's boy. Now again, was he fully to blame? No, he wasn't fully to blame. But he was sure as shit a big part of it. Sure as shit a big part of it. So, I mean, I don't know, man. He's gone, and I think they're probably better off for it. As a matter of fact, they need a lot of new names in there. Sir Case in the chat, Deuce Pritchard and Michael Hayes next, please. Yeah, get them the fuck out too. Get them out too, especially Bruce Pritchard. I got Michael Hayes back there thinking he's some fucking wrestling genius. He's the fucking greatest thing that's ever happened to wrestling. Get him out. Get him out. So, Road Dogg is gone. Sir K says if all these changes don't make a difference, they got to look at downgrading Paul to just a writer. Hey, like I just said, man, if you can't do the job, which clearly Triple H has lacked creative vision as of late, and this was Mr. Creative Vision 8 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah, 8 years ago. This was Mr. Creative long-term vision. If you can't do a job, then get the fuck out. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So Road Dogg is gone. And yeah, he expressed unhappiness due to the changes. Again, dude, look at the state of SmackDown. Look at the state of SmackDown when he was the head writer. Again, was he fully to blame? No. The show was 3 hours. But at the end of the day, man, this dude was booking some of the absolute worst television I think I've ever seen in my life. Worst. And the show at the time was only 2 hours. Now it's 3, which is even more worse. But hey, you can't do a job, then go. Then get the fuck on. It's just how it works, bro. Just how it works. It would happen to anybody else. It would happen to anybody else. But yeah, I mean, that may be what Triple H does need. He may need to be hungry again. He may be so filled with Dana envy, he forgot what that hunger, feels like. You know what I mean? What that hunger of fighting for being the top guy again feels like. Speaking of Triple H, his boy LA Knight. His boy LA Knight, dude, this was one of the most mind-boggling things I don't ever heard. Oh, man. Oh, God. According to the Coach's Corner, LA Knight says he doesn't have any detail about what he will be doing for WrestleMania 42. Paul, please. LA says, don't worry about the details because I don't have anything. I know about as much as you do. People find that that's hard to believe, but in all honesty, that's just wrestling. When I came up in wrestling, I'd say most of the times I was going to a show, I never met my opponent before. I'm meeting him 2 or 3 hours before showtime, before we're learning anything. I don't know a lot. I'd like to know more, but all I know is it's going to be, of course, as it always is, a gigantic week. It's going to be a gigantic success. Yeah, LA. Yeah, it is going to be a gigantic success. Because should they put you in a match, you typically knock it out of the park every time you're in the fucking ring, and they hate you for it. They fucking hate you for it. Paul, don't you think it would be great if the talent knew what they were doing for WrestleMania? Don't you think? I mean, back in the days of 2015, I remember hearing, or back in the days of 2016, I remember hearing Sasha Banks talk about 2015 and her feud with Bayley, and how one of the things she loved the most was we knew what we were doing well in advance, because it would allow me to add things to the feud to make it better. It would allow me to, make what I was doing better. It would allow me to, let things, it would allow me to, just give more ideas and let things marinate and drop little subtle hints for things and all these, all these sort of things that, again, just allow things to marinate. You have, on the other hand, here we are in March of 2026, and these guys don't know what they're doing. These guys have no idea what they're doing. What? A month before the show? How am I supposed to make what I'm doing any better if I don't know what the fuck I'm doing? I don't know who I'm working with, nothing. Isn't that the whole point of your job, Paul? Aren't you supposed to put people in better positions to succeed? And we hear shit like this. That is so ridiculous, and that is so against the old Paul that we used to know. I don't get it. I felt terrible for LA Knight. I still feel terrible for LA Knight. Yes, and that is, Turkey says that is one of the first problems Paul fixed, and he lost it. Why didn't you just take the NXT model of workplace environment and apply it to the main roster? It's ridiculous, Paul. I don't know what happened to you, bro. I do not fucking know what happened to you. Speaking of that, this gets even worse, because we go from LA Knight, somebody that Paul does not like, to Gunther. Yes. The same Gunther that retired John Cena. Same one that retired AJ Styles, Goldberg. Dude. According to WrestleVotes, Gunther's creative direction for WrestleMania 42 remains undetermined as of now. He just retired John Cena. He retired AJ Styles a month ago. And you mean to tell me you got nothing? You have jack shit that you want to do with him at WrestleMania. Nothing. How fucking sorry is that? Well, maybe if you didn't, want to have him be this career killer, you could have put him up against Brock Lesnar and then save Brock for Oba. Or you could have, I don't know, maybe had him face Cody Rhodes if you didn't have your fucking head shoved so far up Cody Rhodes being in the title picture's ass. Maybe you could have put him up against Cody Rhodes because Cody could have got revenge for his hero, John Cena. Maybe something like that would have been cool. WWE, according to WrestleVotes Radio, has 3 options. Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, or Oba Femi. Can anybody, and I mean anybody, give me a good reason as to why Gunther would be taking on Oba Femi at WrestleMania? Oba Femi. This WrestleMania, for the second year in a row, was a layup. It was a fucking layup. and you didn't even hit the rim. You didn't even hit the backboard. You just threw the ball literally just up in the air, and it came down. You airballed the layup. Why it wasn't between Brock Lesnar or Cody Rhodes, I have no idea. Why would you even think about putting him in a match with Obafemi? Two guys that you refuse to have lose. Two guys that you don't want to lose. Obafemi and Gunther. Yeah, let's put them against each other. Rey Mysterio at this point is probably your smartest option. What I would have done is Cody. I would have took Cody out of the title picture. I would have left the title picture to Drew versus Fatu, and I would have left Cody to go off and fight Gunther. As for the other option for Gunther, I would have went with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and I would have done Oba as the retirement match at SummerSlam. It makes no sense. It's the easiest shit in the world to book. Yet they throw names like Obafemi and Rey Mysterio in there that make little to no sense at all. The Ruler versus the Ring General. Why the fuck would we do that right now? Why? You might as well done throwing him again. With all these random ass options you got here, you might as well done just throwing him in the ring with Ilya Dragunov at WrestleMania. Might as fucking well have. And Rey Mysterio. How many times have we sat on here the past couple weeks and said, why would Gunther retire Rey Mysterio? Honestly, that at this point is probably the most likely option, is a Gunther-Rey match. Only because of all the Dragon Lee stuff. Only because of all the Dragon Lee, the Dragon Lee luchador pulling the mask off type of stuff. Rey Mysterio is gonna get into that and tell Gunther he disrespect the dark arts of the lucha libre. And then him and Gunther are gonna have a Mania match, and I can't really say I give any fucks about that, to be honest with you guys, man. Hey, we got my guy Durante in the house, bro. How you doing, brother? Thank you for joining us, as always. That is the WrestleMania plans for Gunther. As the WrestleMania, we got some news on the WrestleMania card. According to Bodyslam.net, sources indicated that WrestleMania 42 will feature at least 14 matches over the 2 nights. Another source indicated that the card could have a solid 16 matches this year with the earlier start time that was announced recently. So, about the same as last year. I think last year we had about 7 on each night, which I think was good. I think that was a good amount of time. I think it was a good amount of time with the amount of, ads that they put on the show. I think it was a decent amount of time for, everything that they had to, get into the show. So, I mean, I get that. And that is a pretty normal number for what we're, used to hearing, at least for the last 2 years of WrestleMania. I wish they would do 7 matches on every pay-per-view. Typically they do 4. I wish they would do 7. But we do get those kind of things for a Mania or for a SummerSlam. So, I can appreciate that. And like I said, this is pretty normal from what we're used to seeing. Speaking of that, we have women's matches at WrestleMania. According to WrestleVotes, there have been creative pitches for 6 women's matches at WrestleMania across 2 nights. That would be 3 on each night. 5 of those matches are pretty firmly planned, with another being discussed. Okay, so if you look at this, so you probably got golly. Oh no, my throat got so dry, bro. Golly. So, if you look at the Mania card, you got Vacker and Liv. You got Jade and Bianca. You have AJ, Becky, probably. That's 3. You still need a whole nother 3 matches. Probably Io, Asuka, the women's tag titles, and don't even tell me they're going to want to put like Natty and Maxine on there. Maybe something with Bayley and Lyra if they're not involved in the women's IC title program, which I don't think they will overall. If WWE wanted to mix it up a little bit, they could go that route, but I just don't see them doing that personally. Did I say Jade and Rhea? I think I did. Did I? Yeah, so those are probably going to be your 6 matches. Io and Asuka, I'm sorry, that story with Asuka is fucking terrible, but you know they're gonna want to get Rhea Io on the show. So Sir K says if there are 6 matches and Bayley and Lyra ain't there, they're fucking up. The only good thing about that is I feel they will. Only because of that line Lyra dropped on Raw where she told Bayley, she wanted to take it into her own hands to get Bayley on the Mania card because of what happened last year. So I really like the continuation of that story. I think that's great. They've got to be. And if they're not, then boy, we got problems. Yeah, no, you're definitely in the right ballpark. We definitely got problems if that's the case, bro. So, however, we have about 6 matches we're looking at for the women for WrestleMania. Those are probably the 6. And I mean, I would agree with most of them. Like I said, I don't really care to see the Asuka storyline make it onto WrestleMania or Nia and Lash defend the women's tag titles. If it was up to me, I would do Becky, AJ, Jade, Rhea, Liv, Stephanie, and then I would add something with Lyra and Bayley, maybe versus the Judgment Day, or I mean, I guess you could put them for the women's tag titles against Nia and Lash and I would actually give Bayley and Lyra the belts on that show, to be honest. I would actually probably do that for WrestleMania. So there you go. I guess I would put the fucking women's tag titles on WrestleMania, and I would have Lyra and Bayley win them. So, I feel like that's what they will end up doing too. So, just what I'm feeling. But because if Lyra says she's going to beat, if Lyra says she's going to get Bayley on the Mania card, I would only assume that would be in like a tag scenario. I would assume. So that is the Mania card information. And speaking of that, according to Uncle Dave, despite trying to publicly claim WWE trying to publicly claim they don't listen to social media, almost every non-injury related change past McIntyre was driven by social media saying things were predictable. One person in WWE noted, at this point in time, it's tough playing babyface Booker. It's tough for Triple H to play babyface Booker. The ultra-wise manipulator behind the scenes. It was noted how tough it is with an online community that is critical. It was noted that you have to be able to decipher the true criticism from those who just like to criticize everything you do. But it's bad with zero concept of whether it is or not, or of business. it was noted that things would be better and there would be less direction changing and second guessing. Instead, Paul Levesque trying to be the sage architect, he'd have a much easier time and he'd be doing at least on par with what he was doing before. That's great, to be honest. That's just wonderful. I love that. Paul's trying to play babyface Booker out here. Okay. You see, this is one thing WWE kind of always done right. This is one thing that WWE's always done. They love to sit there and tout and say, "Oh, we don't listen to our audience. We don't listen to our audience." But when their audience backs them up into a corner, they do, and they do listen to their audience when they want to. You know what I mean? They like to sit there and say, "Yeah, all the fans, they just love to criticize everything we do." We criticize everything you do because everything you do has been largely terrible. When things were good, you did not hear this level of criticism. When the bloodline was peak, you did not hear me coming on here every week and calling Paul Triple H Levesque a bald Nazi. You just didn't fucking hear it. You didn't hear it. But now, when you have this bullshit going on, yes, you're going to get criticized. It's the name of the game. And you trying to play babyface Booker, are you? Are you giving us a bunch of shit for WrestleMania we don't want to see? That's babyface Booker to you. What it looks like, again, is you have no idea what you're doing because of the card that you set up. And then on top of the card you set up, you done changed it like 12 different times because of fan dissatisfaction. When the options that you have for Mania are right in front of your face. It's not hard. Me and Sir K, and you guys in chat as well, I guarantee you, however many of us could walk into a writer's room and flesh out a kick-ass WrestleMania card, and you've been planning this shit for 3 months now. Since Survivor Series, is it? And you still have no idea what you're doing? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, man? And then you wonder why it's hard for you to play babyface Booker and for your audience to be, loving what you're doing. There's nothing to love. Nothing. I don't know, man. He comes off like a blithering idiot, man. He comes off like a blithering idiot. Yeah, and a babyface Booker. Why do you have to be babyface Booker? Why do you have to be heel Booker? Why can't we all just book with a vision and with a purpose? I don't get it. He's trying to play babyface Booker. You are doing an awful job at trying to get liked. Awful. You were doing a great job at it. But now, it seems like you don't know your head from your ass. And your audience can see right through that. And that is why you get the criticism you get. And whenever you do decide on a decision, it's about the dumbest thing anybody's ever seen in their life. Yeah, what about a focused Booker? How about some kick-ass story? Like you guys are saying in chat, man. How about you do that? Instead of trying to put on a babyface image for your audience. You had your babyface image, and guess what you did to get that? You had to earn that with good stories, the bloodline, good feuds on your show, Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins, LA Knight and Bray Wyatt, feuds like that, Gunther and Chad Gable. Good stories on the fucking show. That's what you did to earn that. And then guess what? You didn't try to be a babyface Booker. All he was doing at the time was going to work and trying to make the company better and restore it after Vince left. And guess what? He ended up getting love for it. He ended up getting fucking loved for it. And now, you go to work, chew your fucking ice, talk to your boys, talk about a bunch of bullshit, talk about a bunch of nonsense for a couple hours, give the fans nothing anybody asked to see, and you want to be a babyface booker now. You ever heard the saying, things come to you when you don't think about them? Maybe if you didn't think and harp on being liked and just did your job, you would be liked. But no, people come down on you because of your bullshit. Paul. You're worried about WrestleMania ticket sales. And you're second guessing yourself every week. The fuck is that? This guy makes no sense. Saturday night's main event, before we get to the last story, I forgot about this shit. Nobody cares about these Saturday night main event shows. Saturday night's main event, in case you guys were interested or wanted to completely throw away your Saturday night, on May 23rd, you're going to get the chance to do so. As the next Saturday night's main event is set for May 23rd, it's expected to be in Nashville, Tennessee. As a matter of fact. Oh, okay, wonderful. This Saturday night's main event is the weekend before Clash in Italy. Way to make the show even fucking more useless. Let's put it right before a pay-per-view. Let's put it right before the fucking pay-per-view. Nice. Great job. Great job. Let's put it It's okay. I just seen your comment and doesn't that make a lot of sense? Sunday, May 24th, as you can see, AEW will be bringing Double or Nothing to New York on May 24th. And on May 23rd, now WWE wants to run a pay-per-view. They want to run a Saturday night's main event that weekend. I should have known. I should have known. I forgot the exact date on Double or Nothing, to be quite honest with you, but this makes all the sense in the world now. Saturday night's main event is trying to combat Double or Nothing. I can tell you right now, those Saturday night main event shows is not going to come close to Double or Nothing. I can guarantee that. I just realized too that AEW's got, hold on. Okay, so Sunday, May 24th is Double or Nothing. When the hell is Dynasty? Let me see. I have it queued up here from the old images. Where the hell is it? Dynasty. Oh, I know I got it somewhere here. What the fuck? We just went over this. I got the 2025 logo. Where's the 2026 one? Don't tell me that got deleted too. Alright, well, real quick, let's see. AEW Dynasty. There we go. AEW Dynasty. Let's see. That is, Vancouver. Sunday, April 12th. Okay. So it looks like, from the looks of things, AEW's just going a route. AEW's just going a Sunday pay-per-view route. Yeah. So Sunday, May 24th for Double or Nothing, Sunday, March 15th for Revolution, and Sunday, April 12th for AEW Dynasty. I don't know what's up with that, but they're probably trying to avoid, or they're probably scared if they announce a show, WWE's just gonna counter the weekend anyway. I guarantee you that's why they're doing it. I guarantee you, which sucks because I hate Sunday pay-per-views, but because WWE has to be assholes, and AEW probably likes their shows to air at 7 rather than 3 o'clock like they had to for All in Texas. It's, you know, they don't want to do that anymore. WWE's just going to eventually invade their Sunday shows anyway. So I could see that happening, man, and that's just terrible. That's just fucking terrible, man. I hate that. I hate that so much. WWE's got to be such pricks. You're bringing Saturday night's main event. You're bringing Saturday night's main event up against Double or Nothing. If you don't get out of here with that bullshit, Double or Nothing is going to fucking slaughter Saturday night's main event. I don't think there's been one good Saturday night's main event other than the John Cena one. Not one. I mean, hey, if you want to, you know, what would they say last year? They wanted to sway the news, sway the news of the weekend in their favor. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. All you're gonna do is get slaughtered every time. Yes, Sir K said a company confident in its product should not have to counter program. If you weren't so insecure about your product, Paul, then you wouldn't have to counter program anybody. That's one thing I love about AEW. They've never counter programmed WWE. They've never invaded their weekends. Nothing. Yet WWE constantly goes out of their way to try to make it seem like, oh, AEW's not competition. We don't think about them at all. I think you think about them a lot. I heard a story recently where fucking Luke Gallows outed Triple H because he was talking to Triple H one time, and Triple H said he didn't care for the Forbidden Door term. Well, I thought you didn't look at AEW, man. How do you even know what that term is? Well, Paul does have a lot of hair follicles, man. He's been going to the barber a lot, man. Paul's got a lot of hair on that head of his. You know? He gets a cut every week. Man. I don't know what you're insinuating Paul has no hair, but he goes to the barber every week. Must mean he has got something up there. Unless he's just, you know, shaving away some scalp. Penta. According to the There's No Contest show, Penta confirms he's still wrestling with a torn bicep. He says no injury matters to him since he's the Intercontinental Champion. He says the injury was maybe, I don't remember exactly, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I don't remember who gave me a kick. One kick into my chest broke basically. He broke the tendon from my shoulder to the base bicep, and bro, it's so hard. And this is the shoulder from the last injury like a couple months ago. No matter, I'm fucking glad because the gold is on my shoulder, brother. The gold is in Mexico right now. No matter what happened with my body, I don't care. This is the most important. No injury matters to him since he won the Intercontinental Championship. Okay, first of all, 4 or 5 years ago, that is something Tony Khan should have taken care of. He kept him off TV all the fucking time anyway. Why don't you just say, hey man, while I'm keeping you on this, 8-week sabbatical for no fucking reason, why don't you just go ahead and take care of that bicep, that torn bicep of yours? Why this wasn't taken care of 4 to 5 years ago is bullshit. And why WWE has yet to take care of this, and he's been in the company for about a year, is also bullshit. So, I don't know what we're doing here, man. It's the typical just turn the blind eye to the injury, man. I don't agree with it. I never will. But man, yeah, this is something that's not good. This is something that's not good for Penta. You should not be wrestling with a torn bicep. And he's saying, it's so hard. I bet it's a torn bicep. I bet it's very hard. But this is the bed that he's made for himself. I would get that taken care of, man. But I guess I also get he was coming into the company and didn't want to seem just overly injury prone. But Tony Khan should have taken that 4 or 5 years ago when it happened. So for our final bit of stories, we got Cody Rhodes. According to Fightful, one of the reasons the WWE title was taken off of Rhodes was so he would be featured in the Royal Rumble and in the Elimination Chamber matches, adding a draw to those shows. So, oh my goodness. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean when I said Drew McIntyre winning this championship was a lose-lose situation? A lose-lose situation. They did not care about Drew McIntyre. He had a couple good promos in there. That's what Drew does. But in terms of the backing the company gives him, like they do for a Cody Rhodes, you could tell there was nothing there. You could tell. And we hear this. And this confirms everything I bitched and moaned about and everything I heard. I'm a complainer. I book with my emotions or whatever. I could never be a booker. Oh, yeah, I've done heard it all. Great. Fine. Do you see why I complain about this stuff? Do you see? Because we done put him in the match to make Drew look like nothing but an idiot throughout his whole title reign just to flop it back to Cody Rhodes because you needed him as a draw for the Rumble and Chamber. Maybe Cody could have stayed WWE champion and been on these shows if you didn't just include 4 fucking matches on the card. If it wasn't just a 4-match card, maybe you would have been able to fucking fit him on the shows. And don't say, oh, well, they do 4 matches because they need to get time. Nobody gets time anyway because all they play is ads. It's all ads and video packages. And 30 minutes worth of entrances in walking around pods. There was about 12 people that bought extra tickets because they knew Cody was on the show. And they were all children. There were children next to us that didn't fuck with Cody Rhodes at the Chamber. And they say, oh, he gets a great crowd reaction. Yeah, okay, that's great. It's called crowd participation. People like to sing. But in terms of booking, when you look at things from a booking perspective, it ain't it. I don't understand that argument. Oh, people sing. They, whoa. Whoa, okay, yeah, okay, great. It's called audience participation. If we're going to the shows, you better believe I'm going to have some fun. I'm not going to sit there like a grump. Called audience participation. That doesn't mean people fuck with his booking. It's a fun audience participation thing to do. I don't get it. if you're at a fucking concert and they play a song you don't like, you're probably still going to be standing up and just vibing out, because that's just the vibe. You're just at the concert. You're not going to sit down in your chair with your arms crossed like a grump. I don't like this song. I'm not singing. Like, no. If you don't like the song, fuck it. You don't got to sing. Sit there and fucking do this. Sway side to side. Look, with Cody, I don't fuck with the guy's booking. I'm not going to fucking sit there like a little kid that just fucking got his Pop-Tart stolen from him. No. It's called audience participation. People want to have fun at the shows. Especially when the show sucks. All you got to do is look forward to the entrances and fucking saying, whoa. With Cody fucking Rhodes. This Chad. He's done nothing but make both of these matches worse anyways. What are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about right now? Cody Rhodes is scheduled to face Drew McIntyre Friday on SmackDown. The expectation is that there will likely be a title change here. This is from PW Insider Elite. One WWE source citing there could always be changes in that direction, stating it was not a shot at Drew McIntyre's work, but that the company wants to deliver Randy versus Rhodes this year. Orton winning the Elimination Chamber was the start of the move in the right direction, as the feeling was it provided a nice surprise in the ramp-up to WrestleMania, and would give the fans something beyond what they were already expecting. There is no word yet whether this could leave McIntyre, where this could leave McIntyre as of this writing. They could always pivot to a three-way bout, or McIntyre could face Jacob Fatu. This seems like a long shot, but they could always shoot an angle to set up Drew versus Nick Aldis, who has still yet to compete inside of the ring. And yes, like I said, again, PW Insider is stating that Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes in a singles match is reportedly planned for WrestleMania. Okay. I'll say first and foremost, I know a lot of people are expecting me to shit on it. I'm not. There are things I will shit on about it, but before Drew even won the title, my idea was have Jacob screw Drew, because I thought that was going to happen anyways. Do Jacob, Drew, Randy, Cody. Because it's not like, I don't fucking know. We've been asking for Randy fucking Orton versus Cody Rhodes for 2 fucking years now. 4 years, really, ever since he's been in the company. But it really ramped up when he won the WWE Championship. I think that's a great idea. I don't think the match is going to be too hot, but I think the story is it's a WrestleMania story. It is. Hate it or love it, it's a WrestleMania story. What I do got a problem with, you done drug Drew McIntyre in this. You done drug Jacob fucking Fatu in this. To have both guys not be involved at all. And you would have made sense out of this if Jacob had no beef with Cody in the build to Mania. If he just had his sights set on Drew. No, you had a whole Saturday night's main event match and a lot of really good promo segments with Jacob and Cody. You have beef there now. Now, you gotta do that fatal 4-way. And again, I'm not gonna be overly hurt if they go the route of Randy, Cody, and then Fatu, Drew, because again, that was my original thought of the best way to go about it. But then you done overly involved all these characters. That's my problem. And again, I don't think Cody Randy's a bad idea. I think that's a great idea for the story going into Mania. You could have Randy, bug out, go full legend killer, whatever, fucking give Cody, he could start teasing giving Cody the punt, maybe if you have the balls to do so. You have Cody, I'm not expecting it, but you have Cody Rhodes turn heel at WrestleMania on his mentor, Randy Orton, and you could cite, Cody watching what Cena had to do last year to keep the championship. You could have a great story there. I'm not hating that, but why would you overly involve all these characters when it was so simple? It was so simple. It was so simple, dude. You could have had Fatu come back, cost Drew in the 3 stages of Hell match, start building them for WrestleMania. You could have had Drew eliminate Fatu from the Rumble, do some shenanigans there. In the meantime, you could have done a little small program with Cody and Aleister Black for the Rumble and Elimination Chamber undercards. Bam! While you're waiting for the Elimination Chamber winner, which obviously ended up being Randy Orton. There you go. There you fucking go. But instead, you had to go through all these other hoops and make all these other people involved with the WWE Championship, and 2 of them are just going to have a random a singles match on Mania after for the past 2 months being involved in the WWE title program. Which is why, again, I'm not gonna cry if they do Cody, Randy, and Jacob, Drew. But at this point, it just best suits you to do the Fatal 4-Way. Because you overly involved everybody now. If you would have done what you were, if you wanted to do Orton Rhodes in a singles so bad, you should have just did what I said. You should have just did what I said just now. With Fatu coming back, screwing McIntyre out of the title in the 3 stages of Hell match, and Cody should have never lost it. Because if you have Drew McIntyre lose, I was proven right. I was fucking proven right. And I tried to give Drew a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, oh, okay, I thought he was going to hold it for a short term. It looks like he's going to hold it into Mania. It looks like they tried to throw my man's a little bit of a bone. If you have him lose that title tonight, we got bigger problems. We got bigger problems, bro. You got bigger problems. You done royally fucked that man so hard. It's not even funny, dude. It is not even funny, man. I don't understand, bro. I just, God, I don't get this fucking company sometimes. I really don't get this company sometimes. Again, it's not the worst idea in the world. I'm not gonna sit there and just I'm not gonna sit there and just shit on it because it's not my first option. It's not the worst thing in the world. But you made it something to where it would definitely be a problem because you overly involved characters, and that's on you. If you were gonna do Fatu and Drew as a singles, you should have never had Fatu get involved with Cody Rhodes in their beef. Should have never, because now you got to. I don't know. However, hey man, from the bottom of my heart, hey, we had to quickly adapt on episode 308. We had to quickly adapt on episode 308, man. Yeah, we had to quickly adapt for this one, man. This one was hey, again, I thought I was ready. I was not ready. So I had to quickly adapt and make this little graphic you see right now. But hey, man, I want to thank you guys so much for sticking it out. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us, man. Obviously, there was a lot of quick changes on this episode. We had to adapt very quickly. Thank you guys so very much for taking the ride with us. Haven't done a solo episode in a while. I didn't think I was going to have to do one today. But hey, shit happens. It is what it is. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you guys so very much, man. Sir K has given his apologies in the live chat, bro. I want to tell you it's all good. Shit happens. Sometimes things are out of our control. And hey, shit just happens sometimes, man. So you're all good, brother. You're all good. So yes, he will be here as regularly scheduled on Tuesday, man, for Unscripted. But hey, shit happens. It is what it is, and yeah, there is yeah, there was a lot of quick changes that needed to be made. So I want to thank you guys so much for sitting here, sticking it out with us, man. This is a great episode, man. And again, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. But yes, thank you for sticking it out with your boy. And yes, this has been great. This has been great, man. So again, we do apologize for that very unfortunate situation. We obviously didn't expect all this to happen, but again, shit happens. And it is what it is, man. So with that being said, thank you guys for everybody in the live chat. We got Pops, we got Sir K in the chat, bro. Haven't said that in a while. We got my brother Durante, we got Ribshot, and we got Manager Logan, the legend. Manager Brother Logan. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, bro. Thank you guys so very much. And with that, that is going to do it for this edition of episode 308 of NHP. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. And with that, it has been a pleasure from Johnny. And when he was here, I know it was a pleasure from Sir Kate as well. Thank you guys, man. We love you guys so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I can't say it better than he does, but in the words of Sir K, peace.